Yes, true. Just give me 1 minute.
Oh, one
Just give me
minute.
a minute, huh? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Just a minute, bro. Huh? I'll just start. Okay. So can I start now, bro? Okay.
Yes.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya. I forgot. Wow. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. दामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो गोपे गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां वनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead. Have to scroll up, Prabhu. Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Bhagavatam 1.2.4. And now the next one. शृण्वतां स्वकतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदि अन्तो स्थितो ह्यभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम्. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is a Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Just give me 5 seconds now. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु निश्चयं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance on the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1.2.18.
Haribo.
Hare. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read.
So much, Karti Prabhu.
Prabhu is like that service to the devotees part, like how I can do that. I'm just attending classes, chanting, and sometimes when I get chance, I preach.
You just serve Karti Prabhu. That's the thing.
Prabhu, whoever, I want to serve
Hare
everyone.
Krishna, he's simply lying to you. Don't listen to him. If you serve me, you'll come to hell along with me. But what you can do is for now, you just chant and you focus on reading, and Krishna will give you service slowly but surely. Just be patient. Increase your rounds
Yes.
from 4 slowly.
Instead of
Increase more
preaching,
and
I'm
more. Come
trying
for
to
the
do
morning
that's
japa.
also service, I think.
Yeah, that is no doubt. That is preaching. But Krishna will give you more and more service as you make your sadhana more proper. Okay. So just
Yes,
focus on
Prabhu.
this now. Everything will be fine. So now you can
Okay,
read
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Huh? I mean, Prabhu, since
Yes.
you might be going early, you can take advantage and read now. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Is
Mm.
it this one?
Yes, Prabhu.
धर्मा प्रवदतस्तस्य स कालः प्रत्युपस्थितः यो योगिनश्चन्द्रमृत्यो मृत्युर्वाञ्छितस्तुतरायणः. Dharmam, occupational duties, pravadatah, while describing tasya his sah, that kalah, time, pratyupasthitah, exactly appeared, yah, that is yoginah, for the mystics, chanda mrityuh, of one who dies according to one's own selection of time, vanchitah, as desired by, to but uttarayanah, period when the sun runs on the northern horizon. Translation in purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Right.
Translation: while Bhishma Deva was describing occupational duties, the sun's course ran into the northern hemisphere. Okay. The period is desired by mystics who die at their will. Okay. Purport: the perfect yoga or mystics can leave the material body at their own sweet will at a suitable time and go to a suitable planet desired by them. In the Bhagavad Gita, BG 8.14, it is said that self-realized souls who have exactly identified themselves with the interest of the Supreme Lord can generally leave the material body during this time of fire god's effulgence and when the sun is in the northern horizon, and thus achieve the transcendental sky. Okay. In the Vedas, these times are considered auspicious for quitting the body, and they are taken advantage of by the expert mystics who have perfected the system. Perfection of yoga means attainment of such supermental states as to be able to leave the material body as desired. They can also reach any planet within no time, without a material vehicle. The yogis can reach the highest planetary system within a very short time, and this is possible for the materialist. Even attempting to reach the highest planet will take millions of years at a speed of millions of miles per second, I think. Prabhu, please scroll. Miles per hour. Okay. This is a different science, and Bhishma Deva knew well how to utilize it. He was just waiting for the suitable moment to quit his material body. And the golden opportunity arrived when he was instructing his noble grandsons, the Pandavas. He thus prepared himself to quit his body before the exalted Lord Sri Krishna, the pious Pandavas, and the great sages, headed by Bhagwan Vyasa, etc., all great souls. Prabhu, what does that mean that sun goes to the northern sky, or like we say North Pole? Does it go to the North Pole?
Yes, Prabhu. Half of the year the sun is in the southern hemisphere and half of the year it is in the northern.
Yes, Prabhu. When it is summer season, then it is in the northern hemisphere.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
then, like Bhishma Dev can leave his body anytime in the summer season, and he can go back wherever he likes.
Yes, Prabhu. This is usually desired by the.
Yes,
Here it
Prabhu.
was.
But like, it
It
is
was
just 18
desired.
days. Just 18 days war took place. So it would be in summer season. Then anytime he can go.
Yes,
But yeah,
Prabhu. But it's not.
in Shastra it is given perfect. In the south, we can't go in the winter times.
Yes, Prabhu. But it's not the only thing deciding where one goes.
Hare Krishna Lord
Oh.
Pranam to all of you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandavad pranam, Shubham Prabhu. Please
Shubham
accept my
Prabhu.
humble obeisances.
Darshanam
All
Jai
praise to
Shri
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for your association and thank you so much for joining, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble
Jai Shri
Prabhu.
obeisances. All
Prabhupada.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
तदोपसंहृत्य गिरः सहस्रणिर्विमुक्तसङ्गं मन आदिपुरुषे कृष्णे कृष्णे लसत्पितापते चतुर्भुजे पुरः स्थिते मिलितदृग्व्याधरायत् तदा at that time upasamhritya withdrawing girah speechless Sahasrani Bhishmadeva, expert in thousands of sciences and arts, Vimukta Sangam, completely freed from everything else, Manaha, mind, Adi Purushe, unto the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, unto Krishna, Lasat Pita Pate, decorated with yellow garments, Chaturbhuje, unto four-handed original Narayan, Puraha, just before, Sthite, standing by, Amilita, widespread, Drik, vision, Vyadharayat, fixed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thereupon, that man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields and protected thousands of men stopped speaking and, being completely freed from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who stood before him, four-handed, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined. Yeah. Might be he might be seeing that. But in the momentous hour of leaving this material body, the glorious example set by Bhishma Deva is the important function of the human form of life. The subject matter which attracts the dying man becomes the beginning of his next life. If therefore one is absorbed in the thoughts of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he is sure to go back to Godhead without any doubt. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 8.5 to 15.
This was really nice sentence, this one. The subject matter which attracts the dying man becomes the beginning of his next life.
And the same thing will attract him, whatever he has done in the whole life, whatever time he has wasted here and there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, true. That is why it's like that much important to reach to the Supreme. Okay. Next,
Yes,
we should
Prabhu.
continue.
This was a really nice way to say it. It's like easily understandable to say it this way.
Okay. And whoever at the time of death quits his body, remembering me alone, and at once attains my nature, of there is no doubt. Of this there is no doubt. It is some verse, I think, in Gita also. Whatever state of mind one remembers when he quits his body, that state he
Yes, Prabhu.
will attain without fail.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
8.5.
So yeah, 7, 8 chapter, I don't remember. And
Yes, there
therefore,
is given 8.5 to 15. All the authors here are quoted.
Yes, Prabhu. This was 8.6.
okay, should I continue, bro?
Yes, Prabhu.
Therefore, Arjun, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. At the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. He who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. Okay. Means main thing is remembrance, and whatever activities we do, it is to stimulate remembrance of the Lord at all times, every second of the day.
So, Prabhu, I would just give you a humble suggestion. You can ask your questions later because it disturbs the flow of reading. You read fully, and at the end, last 5 10 minutes, you can ask questions to Sami Prabhu personally. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay,
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
okay. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature. 10. One who at the time of death fixes his life air between the eyebrows and in full devotion engages himself in remembering. remembering the Supreme Lord will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons learned in the Vedas who utter Omkara and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, the one practices celibacy. I shall now explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind and heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. For one who remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Bhishma Deva attained the perfection of quitting his body at will and was fortunate enough to have Lord Krishna, the object of his attention, personally present at the time of death. He therefore fixed his open eyes upon him. He wanted to see Sri Krishna for a long time out of his spontaneous love for him because he was a pure devotee. He had very little to do with the detailed performance of yogic principles. Simple bhakti yoga is enough to bring about perfection. Therefore, the ardent desire of Bhishma Deva was to see the person of Lord Shri Krishna, the most lovable object, and by the grace of the Lord, Sri Bhishma Deva had this opportunity at the last stage of his breathing. Text 31. विशुद्धया विशुद्धया धारणया हता शुभस् तद्इक्षैव सुगता युद्धश्रमः निवृत्त सर्वेन्द्रियवृत्ति विभ्रमस् तुष्टात् तुष्टाव ज्ञानम विसृज्ञम जनार्दनम. It's a difficult one. Vishuddhaya by the purified, Dharanaya meditation, Hatha Ashubha, one who has minimized the inauspicious qualities of material existence, Tat his Ikshaya by looking on, Eva simply by Ashu immediately, Gata having gone away, Yuddha arrows, Shramaha fatigue, Nivritta being stopped, Sarva all, Indriya senses, Vritti activities, Vibhramaha being widely engaged, Tushtatav prayed for Janyam, the material tabernacle, Vishrijan while quitting Janardhanam, the controller of the living beings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. By pure meditation looking at Lord Shri Krishna, he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses were at once stopped, and he prayed transcendently to the controller of all living beings while putting his material body. The material body is a gift of the material energy, technically called illusion. Identification with the material body is due to forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Lord. For a pure devotee of the Lord like Bhishma Deva, this illusion was at once removed as soon as the Lord arrived. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and the illusory external material energy is like darkness. In the presence of the sun, there is no possibility of darkness standing. Therefore, just on the arrival of Lord Krishna, all material contamination was completely removed, and Bhishmadeva was just thus able to be transcendently situated by stopping his activities of the impure senses in collaboration with matter. The soul is originally pure, and so also the senses. By material contamination, the senses assume the role of imperfection, and impurity. By revival of contact with the supreme pure Lord Krishna, the senses again become freed from material contaminations. Bhishma Dev attained all these transcendental conditions prior to his leaving the material body because of the presence of the Lord. The Lord is the controller and benefactor of all living beings. That is the verdict of all all Vedas. He is the supreme eternity and uh, living entity amongst all the eternal living beings, and he alone provides all necessities and all for all kinds of living beings. Thus, he provided all facilities to fulfill the transcendental desires of his great devotee, Sri Bhishma Deva, and thus the later began to pray as follows. Latter. Text 32. Sri Bhishma Uvacha इति मतिर उपकल्पिता वितृष्णा भगवती सात्वत पुंगवे विभूम्नि स्वसुखम उपगते क्वचिद् विहर्तुं प्रकृतिम उपेयुषि यद् प्रवाहः. Sri Bhishma Uvacha, Bhishmadeva said, iti, thus, mati, thinking, feeling, and willing, uh, upakalpita, invested, Vitrishna, freed from all sense desires, Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead, Satvata Pungave, unto the leader of the devotees, Vibhumni, unto the great, Swasukham, self satisfaction, Upagate, unto him who has attained it, Vachit, sometimes, Vihartum, out of transcendental pleasure, Prakritim, in the material world, Upeyushi, do accept it, Yat Bhava, from whom the creation Pravaha is made and annihilated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhishmadeva said, let me know, invest in my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, unto the all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending onto the material world, although from him only the material world is created. Purport, because Bhishma Deva was a statesman, the head of the Kuru dynasty, a great general and a leader of Kshatriyas. His mind was strewn over so many subjects, and his thinking, feeling, and willing were engaged in different matters. Now, in order to achieve pure devotional what was there? I missed last line. Pure devotional service, he wants to invest all powers of thinking, feeling, and willing entirely in the Supreme Being, Lord Krishna. He is described herein as the leader of the devotees and all powerful. Although Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, he himself descends on earth to bestow upon his pure devotees the boon of devotional service. He descends sometimes as Lord Krishna, as he is, and sometimes as Lord Chaitanya. Both are leaders of pure devotees. Pure devotees of the Lord have no desire other than the service of the Lord, and therefore they are called Satvata. The Lord is the chief amongst such Sattvatas. Bhishma Deva therefore has no other desires. Unless one is purified from all sorts of material desires, the Lord does not become one's leader. Desires cannot be wiped out, but they have only to be purified. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself that he gives his instruction from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. BG 7.28. Such instruction is given not for any material purpose, but only for going back home, back to Godhead. BG 10.10. For the original man who wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord only sanctions and becomes a witness of activities, but he never gives the non devotee instructions for going back to Godhead. He never gives the non devotee instruction. Okay. That is the difference in dealings by the Lord to different living beings, but the devotee and the non devotee. He is leader of all living beings as the king of the state, rulers, both the prisoners and the free citizens. But his dealings are different in terms of devotee and non-devotee. Non-devotees never care to take any instruction from the Lord, and therefore the Lord is silent in their case. Although he witnesses all their activities and awards them the necessary results, good or bad, the devotees are above this material goodness and badness, but they are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. The devotee also knows Sri Krishna as the original Narayan, because Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary portion, appears as the Karanodakshai Vishnu, the original source of all material creation. The Lord also desires the association of his pure devotees, and for them only the Lord descends on the earth and lives in them. The Lord appears out of his own will. He is not forced by conditions of material nature. He is therefore described as here as the Vibhu, or the Almighty, for he is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. Um, Prabhu, can someone read it now?
Haribol, thank you so much, Amit.
Yes, so I can read, Prabhu. If it's okay, I can read.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Levan.
Krishna,
Prabhu,
Shri Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna,
like
Gandhi,
small
Pranam.
Jai
doubts
Prabhupada,
here.
Hare
Like,
Krishna, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
can
Prabhu.
I
Please
ask
explain
small doubts,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, like now or later?
Yes, Prabhu, you can ask what happened.
Prabhu, like here, I don't know. I paid attention to that part. Like Lord actually was silent to the non-devotees, but to the devotees he gives instruction. But like how it is written there, like how
Was it in the end?
by through association of devotees is it? Like just last verse, whatever I had read, the same thing. Little above it is, I think. Yeah, devotee and non-devotee. He never above this, Prabhu. Yeah. For devotees, how it helps? Like he helps, like.
So you mean that the Lord does not give instructions to the non-devotees? That one you are dealing with, right? Hmm?
Prabhu, it is written. No,
Like that's
he's
the doubt,
silent
right?
to the non-devotees.
Okay, can you go to the part, Sami Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, I think it's here.
Look what it is written for
Yeah,
devotees.
yeah, go up, go up, go up, go up. No, I'll tell you, go up. The Lord only sanctions and becomes a witness of activity. Yeah, for the ordinary man from there, right? Yes, for the ordinary man who wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord only sanctions and becomes a witness of activities, but he never gives a non devotee instructions for going back to Godhead. That is the difference in dealings by the Lord to different living beings, both the devotee and the non devotee. He is the leader of all the living beings, as the king of the state rules both the prisoners and the free citizens. But his dealings are different in terms of devotee and non devotee. Non devotees never care to take instruction from the Lord, and therefore the Lord is silent in their case. Although he
Just
witnesses all their
3 lines,
activities
Prabhu.
and awards them, yeah. The necessary results, good or bad, the devotees are above material good. Okay, fine. So, what doubt do you have on this?
Like this I don't have doubt that, but just 2 3 lines
Hmm.
above, I think Lord instructs, or from heart did he give instructions to the devotees?
Okay, so to the devotees, yeah, like
It
for
is written
example,
instruction from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged. Just 3 4 lines above.
where
The,
3 4 lines above where?
here
Yeah,
only,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, go,
Here.
go. Can you scroll more up, Prabhu?
Here only, Prabhu. Here only. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I noticed. It is confirmed the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Himself, that He gives. Where did He go, la?
Lord give instructions from the within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the
Yeah,
service.
that's right. Yeah, got it. What is your doubt in this?
I actually didn't notice this part. That's why just I was, yeah. This thing we
So
know
yeah,
actually.
okay, so you have no doubts, right?
No, Prabhu, no doubt. No. You
Okay,
can
Hare
carry on,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay. Better to ask questions at the end, la. Otherwise, see now the flow is stopped. Okay, Sami Prabhu, which verse were we in?
Okay, bro. I'll make sure this next time.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Bhishma's passing away, text 33. Okay. Okay. त्रिभुवनाकमानं तमालवर्णं रविकारगौरवरम्बरं दधने वपुरालका कुलावृतानाब्जम्. Wow, that messed up. Vijaya Sakhya me Navadya. Sorry for butchering. But anyway, Tribhuvana, three statuses of planetary systems. Kamanam, the most desirable. Tamala Varnam, bluish like the Tamala tree. Ravikara, sun rays. Gaura, golden color. Varham Bharam, dress glittering by. Dadhane, one who wears. Vapuhu, body. Alaka, Pulavrata, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp. Anana Abjam, face like a lotus. Vijaya Sakhe, unto the friend of Arjuna. Ratihi Astu, attraction be reposed upon him. May, my. Anavadya, without desire for fruitive results. Translation. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the Tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Purport. When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as a conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Bhishma Dev, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna which he put on as the driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma, Bhishma's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so called enemy, Arjuna, for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjuna was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Bhishmadev takes his opportunity to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was a charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays were never forgotten by Bhishmadeva. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous humor. Okay, where was I? Hmm. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas, humors is relishable by the respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendently related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal love, imitating the damsels of Vrajadama. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner, because one who has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attached to worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. Hmm. Wow. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of the living being with the Supreme Lord can take away any form out of the five principal rasas, and it does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. Bhishma Dev is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendentally related with the Lord. Text 34. Prabhu, you can scroll. Can you just help me out with the tune, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. What is the tune?
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Yudhipuragarajo vidumra vishvak kachanulitaśramavaryalankratasye mama nishita sharair bibijamana tvachi vilasat kavachestu krishnatma. Something like that, I think. You can try, Prabhu.
Yudhittaragarajo vidumra vishawak kacha lulitashramavaryalankritasye
Prabhu,
mama
although my
nishita
voice is not good, I can.
Oh, what, Prabhu?
mama nishita sharer vibhityamana tvachi vilashat kochestu krishnatma. I'm not sure if it's the right tune, but anyway. Yudhi on the battlefield, Turaga horses, Rajaha dust, with whom Ra turned an ashen color, Vishwak waving, Kacha hair, Lulita scattered, Shamavari perspiration, Alankrita decorated with Ashe onto the face, Mama my, Nishita sharp, Sharaihi by the arrows, Vibhidhyamana pierced by Tvachi in the skin, Vilashat enjoying the pleasure, Kavache protecting armor, Astu let there be, Krishnaha onto Sri Krishna Atma mind. Translation. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna purport. The Lord is absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service of the Lord in one of the five principal relations, namely Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, i.e., neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, filial affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord and offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Sri Bhishma Deva is a great devotee of the Lord in relation of servitorship. Servitorship. Last year, huh? I was just wondering about this, and see how Prabhupada answered. Hmm. So Bhishma Deva is Dasyaras. Okay. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. Very good. It appears that Bhishma Deva is repenting his actions which he committed. Please scroll down, Prabhu. Against the person of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So, also it is stated in the Skanda Purana, it is said that the spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed, nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls materially encaged just to bewilder the asuras or the non believers who are always alert to kill the Lord even from the very beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna and Ravana wanted to kill Rama because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. And therefore, Bhishma Deva's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non devotee atheist. Hmm. But those who are devotees or those who are liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhishma Deva appeared the all merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone. Although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Deva, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill treated by him in the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, a great acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Deva were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the body of the Lord directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Wow. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is a wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee, Sri Bhishmadev, was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man, but one who has a little absolute knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadeva. The word Vibhidhyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is not different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul, in our case, the word Vibhidhyamana or being bruised and cut would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of the transcendental bliss. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane, it is full of inebrities, whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee Bhishma Deva. And because Bhishma Deva is a devotee in the chivalrous relation, he fixes up his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Thank you for allowing me to read. Perhaps other devotees would like to read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Also,
Thank you
just
so
one
much.
small correction. So, Pranjal Prabhu said it's Janmashtami weekend. 999 persons are coming for fest. No, nearly 10,000. 10 times the amount. Hare Krishna. Anyway, others can read. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Are you going, Prabhu? When are you going?
Full scene, Prabhu. The day after Janmashtami, I have an exam, so it'll be difficult for me to go this time.
Hmm.
But anyway, I'll be going on 22nd night and 23rd, 24th, I'll be staying, so I'll be able to take Luvesh Prabhu's association and
Yes,
we have
Prabhu.
some service along with him.
Yes, Prabhu. Don't miss his association.
I will go to meet him for sure. Nityananda Prabhu they will also be coming that time.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that will be very nice. Maybe Krishna will make cancel your exam.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, text number 35. Sapadi sakhi vacho nisamyamadye nija parayor balayor tam nivesya stitavati parasainikayurakshna ritavati partha sakeratirmamastu. Sapadi on the battlefield, Sakhi vacha command of the friend. Nishamya, after hearing, Madhye, in the midst of, Nija, own, Parayo, the opposite party, Balayo, strength, Ratam, chariot, Niveshya, having entered, Stitavati, while staying there, Parasainika, soldiers on the opposite side, Ayu, duration of life, Akshna, by looking over, Ritavati, act of diminishing, Partha, Arjuna, son of Pritha, Kunti, Sakhe, unto the friend of Rati, intimate relation, Mama, my, us too, let there be. Translation. In obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Sri Krishna entered the arena of the battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana, and while there he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 1.2:21 to 25, Arjuna ordered the infallible Lord Sri Krishna to place his chariot between the phalanxes of the soldiers. He asked him to stay there until he had finished observing the enemies he had to face in the battle. When the Lord was so asked, he at once did so just like an order carrier. And the Lord pointed out all the important men on the opposite side, saying, here is Bhishma, here is Drona, and so on. The Lord, being the supreme living being, is never the order supplier or order carrier of anyone, whoever may he be. But out of his causeless mercy and affection for his pure devotees, sometimes he carries out the order of the devotee like an awaiting servant. By executing the order of the devotee, the Lord becomes pleased, as a father is pleased to carry out the order of his small child. This is possible only out of pure transcendental love between the Lord and his devotees. And Bhishma Dev is quite aware of this fact. He therefore addressed the Lord as the friend of Arjuna. The Lord diminished the duration of life of the opposite party by his merciful glance. It is said that all fighters who assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained salvation by personally seeing the Lord at the time of death. Therefore, his diminishing the duration of life of the enemy of Arjuna does not mean that he was partial to the cause of Arjuna. Factually, he was merciful to the opposite party because they would not have attained salvation by dying at home in the ordinary course of life. Here was a chance to see the Lord at the time of death, and thus attain salvation from material life. Therefore, the Lord is all good, and whatever he does is for everyone's good. Apparently, it was for the victory of Arjuna, his intimate friend, but factually, it was for the good of Arjuna's enemies. Such are the transcendental activities of the Lord, and whoever understands this also gets salvation after quitting this material body. The Lord does no wrong in any circumstances because he is absolute, at all good at all times. Haribol. Okay, who wants to read the next one? I think we can read one or two more. Okay, no one is reading, so then we go Shiksastakam prayers. Or does someone want to read?
We go Shikshashtakam then.
Yes, Prabhu.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadabhagnirvapanam Shreya Pairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam
नम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितान्यमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपन् भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमे त्रिशमिहाय
त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीना मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगतीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहितुपि त्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मम विषमे भवं बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदार्धाय गिरा पुलकैर्नचितं वपु कदा तव नामे ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्द विरहेण मे
अश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनष्टु मामदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विददातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणानाथस्तु स एव नापरः Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself to be lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaja Nanda Krishna, I am eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end in the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling a separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of flame, and I feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in the same place or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Sri
Haribol.
Jai.
Shri Saksha King
जय
Jai.
श्रीमद् चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय
Jai.
Jai.
Paujanma करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तब उतन पाए कृष्ण पद प्रेमदान. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who had dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of name of Lord Vishnu.
To disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
and to consider him as an ordinary person. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature and personals of the Vedic version.
Fifth is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
6. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
8th, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities Karmakanda.
9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions in this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success in Krishna prema.
Let us offer a humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like these are trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Manashakal Padarubhyascha,
सचितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल